And Corn Cob, thank you very much. Ansel, you start school this week, right? Monday. We've got a couple of people who are starting back to that routine Monday. Steve, somewhere here, he's starting back, you're starting back. Ansel, for somebody that don't know, he teaches music or band, which is it called?
Yeah, I teach a jazz band.
Jazz band at a Christian high school, Ambrose Christian High School.
And
So,
logic.
what?
And logic.
And logic, yes.
And math, yeah.
And math. And I thought that was really cool when I found out that about Ansel. But you guys are going to have encounters with these kids all year, and we just we want to bless you and pray that you'll have a good year. I know you can have an influence on all the kids that you're associated with. So God bless you. Last week we had this plan, but we went a little over in time on the worship, and also we've got it moved up until today. Some of you were here about 5 weeks ago now, or 6 maybe now, when Robin left to go to Haiti. She was there a month, and I've asked her to come and share some things about her ministry there. She didn't go to the ministry in Haiti, the orphanage that our church supports full time, but she did go to a very unique ministry there, and our church did help her just a little bit in that. So when you hear what she has to say, you can know that your tithes and offerings went to help in a small way to facilitate her visit there. This is Robin.
Hi everybody, I'm not used to a microphone. Being in front of people is fine for me, but the microphone I'm kind of a little scared of it. I went to Haiti. I work with deaf children. I'm a student at BSU, and I got my minor in ASL, and God's called me to work with the deaf. So a friend of mine that's CB Ministries here in Boise has a deaf children's home that they started a year ago this coming October, where they take children that are deaf, they teach them language. A lot of them come there with no language skills, not even knowing their name or any kind of communication at all. And they teach them language. They actually have 2 classrooms in a nearby school where they go. Those that have language learn math and all this reading and what most children should be learning. So I go there and I help out. This time I did a lot of photography. I want to hit you with the bad stuff that happened, the trials that we had first. And then I've got a PowerPoint with pictures and stories of all the good things that God had happen there. So one of the first trials we had when I got there, 2 of the other missionaries from here in Boise had grandparents that passed away. So we had to help them through that grieving process. They had a choice of either leaving or staying, and they chose to stay, which was wonderful. But we had to help them through that beginning grieving process. Another thing that we had that was going on that was challenging for us was this is a 5-bedroom house, 2-story. There were 33 children because it was summer school time. Normally there's 50 children and staff, and then there were 7 of us missionaries there to help with summer school and stuff that were living in a very small, compact bed situation. Room enough for a table to sit down and have our meetings and eat at. So that was very difficult, especially for me as being a single woman, used to having space, not being around a lot of children, and let alone having to sleep in that tight space was very challenging for me. God gave me the strength, and I persevered. The first week was wonderful. Second week was great. The third week was a little more challenging, and the fourth week I realized, okay, I stayed just a little too long. But I made it through. So another challenge that we had that Catherine, the founder of CB Ministries and the home, she also has a home in Uganda. And so for some reason, Western Union decided to stop her sending money. And so she had to go through all this process with them while we were there to put in her nonprofit status, to have all these bills and proof that she pays people for their jobs that they do in these homes and stuff. And that she started that process before we got there. And by the time we had left a month and a half later, she was still fighting with them on the phone. Perseverance, hours on the phone, just fighting that fight. She's got such a fight in her. They finally let it go, and she got the money to the Ugandan orphanage that they needed, that they'd been waiting for. We had received some money, and we were able to buy a new car because we had no transportation for the home. We were using what they call taps and public transportation. So that made it nice that we were able to get that car, that no matter how hard the devil fought us on that, we got what was needed, and God brought it to fruition and brought us through that. So that was wonderful. We also, on the day we got to baptize 2 of the children, we found out that afternoon, we went and did the baptismals, and we found out that afternoon one of the ladies that was one of the cooks that lived in the house was having sex with one of the children. So that was a big fight as well, as you can imagine. We had to pull the children out of the house for the day, go get them occupied and stuff while the police were brought in, and they did the court system, and this lady would not leave. She wanted a year's wages before she'd leave, and we're like, sorry, we're not going to pay you to molest our children. No way are we going to do that. So we ended up going to the court system that day, and the judge said, okay, you got to pay her 4 months. 4 months, not a year. But we have to follow the law of the land. That is written in the Bible. We've got to follow the law of the land. So being there, we had to. We ended up still having to have the police come in, and she was still fighting it. Wouldn't take the check, but finally we got her out of there. The police came again with the guns, and the children weren't there, thank you. So we got her out of there, but there is still, she goes to the same church. She's still involved in the community. She tried to get messages into this boy and stuff. And unfortunately, the boy has had to leave the home and had to leave the schooling opportunities and everything because he did not feel safe. So we are trying to find him. He's an older boy. He's 17. You got to remember, a lot of these children don't have language or anything, so his mentality is more like a 14-year-old than a 17-year-old who doesn't have that experience. So we are trying to put him in through a carpenter's school to where he is not going to be threatened, but he's going to learn something to be able to go forth in life and enjoy his life. So that's part of the good. And if you're ready for the PowerPoint, I've got a quick little PowerPoint I want to get out of the way. And since this is being filmed, you'll be able to see this if you don't get a good look at this. This is some pictures that I brought, I put together. Okay, this is the team. We had 7 of us. The gentleman came for a week to do stuff to the house, the plumbing, the toilets didn't work, so forth and etc. Catherine and her daughter was there. This is the children at school and the playground that has been built within the last year. This school opened up last October when I was there last year. So this is summer school. This girl here was not a deaf girl, but she'd come and hang out outside of the school. Her father beats her and she has very bad, but we gave her a piece of chalk and look at the smile on her face, just what a piece of chalk will do for a child. We had the opportunity to go shopping. This is us headed down to the market from the school, from the home. And we went and was able to get some of the children some school shoes and some church shoes that were highly needed due to funds that came in. And I call this paper towels. We had, there's Feed the Hunger over there. And Catherine heard about it one day, the next morning went and applied for this. that night we were getting bags of rice and tables and vitamin D deals and stuff, just massive food. And that's the one on the bottom there is the kids on all the rice and beans, the bags of rice and beans. Funny is the night before we were all sitting upstairs talking about how we wanted paper towels. The next day we got them. This is the baptism, the two children that got baptized. And then we had a beach day, which was really fun. We took towards the end of the stay, we took all the children down to the beach and the staff, and we played at the water all day, ate watermelon, had fresh coconuts, and had a good time. One of the things I took was a lot of material and stuff, and they learned how to make these bags. So they have a sewing class going on a regular basis daily during the week. And then we had a wellness check. We had a group came in, and on the last Monday I was there. There was a group of, I think, 3 doctors and some nurses, and they went, all the children were getting ready to leave, and we were able to get the majority of them go through a wellness check before they left. We did find one girl who was very skinny, very tall. We're not sure exactly what's wrong with her yet, but she's always very lethargic, very loving, sweet girl, but she's tired and doesn't have a lot of energy, very skinny, very elongated, and she has a heart. They did find that she has a heart murmur, that she's going to have to go in for more testing, probably have surgery and stuff like that, but that, at least the wellness check caught it. So that's pretty much the highlights that happened while I was there. I thank this church so much for the donation. It made a lot of this possible. So out of the deepness of my heart, thank you all for giving. Bye.